I don't think there's been a time where the vibes have been more immaculate with this team heading into the regular season than this year. When you consider the offseason they had, the additions they made in the trenches, the offensive line, the defensive line, this was going to be different, man. You got your quarterback of the future, new franchise quarterback. Everything has changed. They flipped this roster upside down. Now we're going to start seeing results. And while it's still very early in the season, 2 games played out of 17, it's not too early to hit the panic button. The Vikings have the second worst offense, tied for third worst scoring offense, fourth worst third down conversion rate. And out of 8 quarters played so far, one was really great, the other 7, god awful. And while the defense certainly has been far and away better than the Vikings offense, the defense, their struggles are with the interior defensive line, particularly with the big names, Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave. Although, in fairness to Hargrave, he had a pretty good game against Chicago week 1. But Jonathan Allen has been relatively quiet. You've gotten some good performances, I would say, from LDR and Jalen Redmond, but not being able to finish plays. Jonathan Grenard, several times so far, has gotten to the quarterback, or at least damn near gotten to the quarterback, without finishing the play for a sack. And Ivan Pace Jr. had his worst performance last night. I don't know how many tackles that he missed, but it was too damn much. You're an inside linebacker. Tackle the damn ball carrier. And then you get to the offensive side of the ball. The offensive line, the new revamped offensive line with Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, Donovan Jackson. Donovan Jackson, I think, has been okay, but the 2 guys brought in from the Colts, it's been bad. Brian O'Neill actually had a very bad performance last night as well. But the offense as a whole so far has been awful. In fact, there's been no evidence to suggest, certainly the visual evidence does not suggest that this offensive line is any better than last year's offensive line. In fact, one can make the argument that this offensive line is worse than years past offensive lines. One Christian Darrisaw is not going to fix everything. Those 2 guys from the Colts, Ryan Kelly and Will Fries, they need to get better. It's as simple as that. And then you get to the quarterback. Okay. JJ McCarthy looks terrified. He looks scared to death when he's on the football field. His throws are always off target, to where if it is on target, at least if it's going to the receiver and they have a chance to maybe catch it, the receivers have to do more work to make those plays than the quarterback, who's supposed to be guiding those receivers to those precision throws. But they're not precision throws. On long balls, he's overselling the receiver. On intermediate routes, he's throwing at the receiver's feet. He's throwing it up high to where you got to jump up like you're prime Randy Moss, but yet you're just 6 feet tall to try and make those plays. The way he throws the football right now, it is impossible for these playmakers to get yards after the catch. Instead of hitting his receivers in the chest, the passes are too low or too high. And I get that it's early and this is his first year as a starter and he could always get better. Give him time. But look at his baseline where he has to get better from. This, if it keeps up, is on track to be on par, if not worse, than Christian Ponder. This is Bryce Young bad. And I talked about the confidence, or lack thereof, I should say, demonstrated by JJ McCarthy, the lack of confidence through the first 3 quarters of the Chicago game last week, before ultimately in the 4th quarter got the team extra motivated and fired up and got the team rallied around him for that comeback victory. Last night against the Falcons, McCarthy's confidence was shot from start to finish. Well, you know what? It's early. Things can get better. From where they are right now, better is anything, because right now the Minnesota Vikings look like a JUCO team that should be relegated from the NFL. They look like they don't belong in this league. And that's on the head coach. And before we get to that, this video is brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper, if you're a daily fantasy user, this platform is for you. They've got 2 Monday Night Football games on this evening. I'm going to make 3 picks from between those 2 games. Baker Mayfield, more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. Ashton Genty, more than half a rushing touchdown. And Quentin Johnston from the Chargers, less than 43.5 receiving yards. Use the promo code RANDY on Sleeper and get a 100% match up to $100. Just use the link in the description of this video. Terms and conditions apply. Now then, for the head coach. Through the first 3 years of his tenure, KOC has had the scripted drives on lock to where in the first quarter, damn near every game, the Vikings would score anywhere from 10 to 13 points. And then the second and third quarters, it would dip down. KOC would get stuck trying to adjust to the adjustments of the opposing coach, but would really struggle there. But in the fourth quarter, they would bounce back and make a charge and oftentimes win those games. But now, those scripted drives aren't working. You are stuck from the beginning of the game to where it's like, what? Are you going to make some late surging comebacks to win games purely off of the fourth quarters alone? You're not going to win many games that way. They're undisciplined of a team. Pre-snap penalties, false starts, delay of games. How the hell do you already have multiple delay of game penalties this season? That is ridiculous. When the clock is right, the play clock is right in front of you, JJ McCarthy, or KOC. If you know a delay of game is coming, call a damn timeout. Undisciplined, and this comes back to the very idea. My opinion, KOC should not be calling plays. Because even if he was to get the scripted drives back, his lack of being able to adjust in the middle, in the meat and potatoes of those games, is the reason why you're not going to get very far, especially come playoff time. Because come playoff time, you not only just need the talent, you also need elite coaching. And that is not KOC's strong suit. Not elite coaching. Well, of course you need elite coaching, but more specifically, elite play calling. That is not in KOC's strong suit at all. It hasn't been during his entire time here. And we can sit here and pretend that, oh, it's going to be fine. It's everyone else's fault. Well, what does he have to work with? Did we just say, haven't we talked about for months how this has been a great offseason? But it's never his fault. We're never going. Is anybody going to ask him a question about his play calling? And the team consistently unprepared in big moments. This is your rookie quarterback. This is your first year starting quarterback. This is a big moment. And then, okay, fine. We can use that excuse as far as the inexperience. But even going back to the playoffs last year, big moments. The Rams, you got smacked. And then the last game of the regular season for a chance to get the 1 seed in the NFC, you got smacked by the Lions. And then you fast forward to the present, to now, to where, oh, Jordan Mason should clearly be the RB1. You need somebody to run between the tackles. He's your guy. No, we're going to trot out Aaron Jones, who at this point in his career is more valuable serving in the passing game. What are we doing here? And there were multiple times last night, I want to say 3rd and 1, where it's like, oh, we're going to do the QB sneak. And all right, we don't have the interior offensive line for that. Clearly, we thought we did this offseason, but you've seen it so far through the first game and a half. We don't have it. We're going to do the QB sneak anyway. Or, hey, you know what? Hey, we could just hand the ball off to Jordan Mason on 3rd and 1, but we're going to pass it outside. Or we're going to pitch it to Aaron Jones. What are you doing? And it comes back to the very point that I've been saying for years, is that KOC should not be calling plays because when it comes to the scripted drives, I'm willing to even just say, okay, plan out the scripted drives, but after the scripted drives are over in the second quarter, somebody else needs to call plays, the situational play calling. Because in those moments, KOC, and it's been proven time and time again, in situational play calling moments, especially in big games, he doesn't know what he's doing. We can pretend all we want to. Go ahead and defend his honor and talk about how great he is and the culture this, culture that. And that's the problem. That's all this team has is culture. As far as being tough and playing actual football and competing, they have none of that. We have Disney vibes and that's it. Great. We'll see you next time.